Hello everyone, my name is Dong Ruhan and my matric number is 154641. In this presentation, my topic is the association of Southeast Asian shadow play with local history and culture in Indonesia, Thailand, and Malaysia. The picture shows two genres of Indonesia's shadow play, Java and Bali. The left puppy is the most revered shadow puppies in Wayang Kulit, Pulau Java. The puppy on the right side is the typical characters in Wayang Bali. The Balinese shadow puppies are smaller and more resemble real humans in shape. Balinese shadow theater is also closely associated with religious rituals, particularly with Hinduism. The majority of Indonesia's shadow are gold and black. Indonesian shadow puppies are generally exaggerated, ranging from the virtuous and loyal countries to the single ones. The former handsome, the latter obscene and ugly, and the good and the bad characters can be seen at a glance. Gamelan is the most famous local music in Indonesia and is a key part of the local shadow theater performance. The traditional music performed by gamelan in Wayang Kulit is mostly adapted from the Hindu literature, the Mahabharata and the Ramayana. The picture draws Dalang burns incense and prostrates to the shadow puppies. The main performer of the Indonesia Wayang Kulit is called Dalang, who is revered by the locals as a master artist and spiritual leader. The religious nature of Wayang shadow theaters is reflected in the performance rituals, in which Dalang plays the role of both performer and shaman, praying for blessing and eliminating disaster. The figure shows a Dalang is playing a multiple role in shadow theater. Dalang was extremely respected and admired for his acting skills, vast knowledge, and infinite wisdoms. In fact, Dalang is not only regarded as an outstanding figure of art, but also as someone who could communicate with the gods and ancestral spirit, and is treated like a monk. For a long time, the dalang has been performed by men. Now, some women in Indonesia are beginning to learn the art of dalang in the hope of being able to perform this sacred work. The appearance of the female dalang represents progress in Indonesian societies and opens a way for other Indonesian women to fight for their fair rights, with far-reaching positive effects. President Joko Widodo plays a shadow puppies witnessed by the puppeteer. Not only does the wayang kulit shadow play exist for entertainment, but it is also an important medium for the Indonesian government to widely spread the values of the Javanese people. As a result, the dalang became the most effective spokesperson for the Indonesian government. Now I'm going to talk about the shadow play in Thailand. Nanya shadow puppy is so large that the performer needs to use two sticks to maintain it. It is important to note that, unlike Indonesian shadow puppets, Thai shadow puppies have unmovable joints and are mainly supported by two sticks. The shadow play artist can walk in front of the screen to perform, which is a special feature of Thailand Nanya shadow play. Shadow puppeteers performed barefoot on the stage, sometimes stepping their feet to create sound effects to match the music and the storyline. As they use the largest shadow puppies in the world, the shadow puppeteers need to use all their strength to maintain them. The non-Talun shadow play is popular shadow play in the southern Thailand, and it's not as large as the Nanya shadow. Its puppy's arms, legs, or jaws can be moved, unlike the Nanya shadow, which is not movable joint. The shadow can be manipulated with a wooden stick, and the thin rope is attached to the hand, shoulders, eyebrows, and rest of the shadow, so that it can be manipulated freely by holding the sticks and rope. Non-Talun shadow theater is preceded by a series of religious rituals after the opening music, which is largely influenced by folk Brahmanism custom. There is also an element of religious belief in the making of Taisho's figures. For example, the artist must dress in white during painting process, and the figure must be complete within a day as the sign of the respect and reverence for the deity. The Thai people also have two cult-like attachment to the shadow puppies, believing it to be naturally scarred and supernaturally powerful. The Thailand shadow plays also have cultural and political functions, commenting on current events and social issues, promoting important national regulations and conveying relevant practical information to the audience. Many shadow puppeteers, both previous and modern, have shown kings, officials, family members, masters, and servants abusing their social power to seriously affect social relations and the fate of their protagonists. Next, I will present shadow play in Malaysia. Like Indonesian shadow puppeteers, Malaysian shadow puppeteers are also known as dalang and are responsible for all aspects of their performance. They have to be very knowledgeable and memorize various shadow play stories. The coloring of the shadow puppets is full of Hindu religious symbolism, which is particularly evident in the noble characters and heroical figures. For example, the Rama is always colored green, the general is always colored pink or orange, and the prince is yellow. The monkey Hanuman is white. These key characters are finely sculpted, colorful, and often stand on ships or dragon ships verticals. The Kalanta Shadow Theater has a special character called Gunlugan, also known as Kakayon or Pohon Ini, which means tree of life. The wayang kulit Kelantan opens with the Guugan placed in the center of the screen, and in the distortion of the shadows of the shadow puppies creates a unique visual effect. What's more, Malaysian artists injecting new life into the traditional art of wayang kulit by migrating the craft's classic motifs with Marvel and DC inspired puppets. However, as Islam prohibits idolatry outside of its teaching, shadow play is prohibited in many parts of Malaysia. Due to Malaysia government requires that shadow performance must end it by midnight to get the best performance of the shadow. Many dalangs have to be prepared in a very short time, and the show starts at sunset with spotlight. The government funded the performance to promote family planning politicals, or modify the shadow stories to portray the harmonious coexistence of Malaysia's diverse insect groups. There is an essential ritual in Malaysia shadow puppetry called berjamu, which is performed for 3 nights in a row, starting at 10 p.m. each night and ending at sunrise the next day. That's all for my presentation. Thank you for your watching.